Hey everyone, welcome to the Spiritual View. It is Thursday evening, and we are so delighted that you have joined us for our live. And if you're watching this on replay later, welcome to the channel. And we have some lovely ladies here tonight, and I'm going to introduce everyone. I'm Sari, one of your hosts of the Spiritual View. We have the lovely Marcia from the Salty Mama Soul Tribe, the Awakened Jen with Jen. We also have Wendy. And we have a guest tonight, and this is Ruby from Ruby's Lighthouse Tarot. And let's give a special shout out to Ruby. She is actually one of Soulful Revolution's certified readers, and she also is on her own channel. And we're going to post some information in the chat below so that you have a way to get in touch with Ruby should you want to do a private reading. You can also find her on Soulful Revolution's private reader page if you want to look up Ruby. And we're delighted that you're here. It is Thursday, May the 8th. If you can believe it, we're already into May. And so just a couple of announcements for everyone as everyone is joining. We will be having a full moon ritual this coming Monday, the 12th of May at noon Eastern Standard Time. So we will be posting some information, and we'll be sending that out a little bit later in the week. And just wanted to make sure that you put that on your calendar. Again, 12 noon on Monday the 12th, full moon ritual, and it will be similar to the ones that we've done before. We are missing Dawn this evening. She's having a lovely time. And so Marcia will be leading us, and we will all be together 12. So is there any more announcements, Jen, or do you think we've got it covered? And like we always say, if you are interested in a card pull this evening, please put your heart in the chat. Not literally your heart, but put a heart in the chat, and we will do our best to get to as many as we can this evening. And so we are very grateful for all of you, and thank you for joining us and for being part of this wonderful community. All right, so we're going to get started by just doing a very quick energy clearing. We all need it, and we've gotten through this week, and we're headed to a beautiful weekend. And in the U.S., it's Mother's Day. In other parts of the world, I know it may not be, but it is. I believe in Latin America, it's on Saturday, the 10th. So let's take a deep breath, ladies and gentlemen. Let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath in. Release. Another deep breath in. And release. And as you slow it down by taking some nice, deep, cleansing breaths, we are going to imagine that tonight we are sitting alone by a babbling brook. And this brook is small, but we're on the bank, so we have the opportunity to roll up our pants legs and put our feet in. It's very warm outside. The water is cool. And we are just relaxing, listening to the sound of the water bubbling by us, the water going by, and just feeling this amazing connection to this beautiful water that's delighting our toes and our feet. And we are just relaxing our entire body, connecting with the elements of the earth, with Mother Gaia through this beautiful brook of water. The water reminds us of our hearts and that we must stay true to our heart. We must be guided by our heart. I'd ask you also to put your hand over your heart. Feel the warmth of your hand over your heart. This amazing, beautiful energy comes from your heart, and it connects downwardly all the way through your toes, through the water, connecting with Mother Gaia and her beautiful, loving energy. From the heart chakra, that energy goes upwards and connects us to heaven. As above, so below. And we are in this beautiful energy of love through our heart center. Archangel Michael is here to provide us strength, protection, and to always stand tall in our truth of what our heart tells us. Feel this beautiful water continually bathing your feet, this energy from the heart, connecting you with the heavens and also with the earth. And we're just in this beautiful vibration of love and gratitude and silence, other than the sound of the brook as it bubbles by your feet. Just sit in this beautiful energy for just one last moment and honor it. And honor your heart. Honor yourself. Let's take one last deep breath in. Big release out. Okay. We are ready to go and over to Miss Marcia, who's going to lead our conversation this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sari. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, what power you have over me, but the second you started speaking, I was like sitting on the dock. My little 6-year-old toes were just like dangling in the water. I loved it. Thank you so much. So I probably needed that because the emotional pressure and tension that is baked into some of the astrology that we are currently in and that we're going to just keep processing through until the full moon on Monday at 22 degrees in Scorpio. And this is deeply transformational and it's Scorpio. So it's just deep, excavating soul level work. And we've heard us mention it many times. The energy of Pluto in retrograde is going to be going back over some parts in your chart. And this is going to last until October. But a real pinnacle moment is we're going to build to that until Monday. So I put together a few slides, and I actually started with yesterday because there was quite a bit of real just emotional pressure and maybe mental overload. So Mercury is going to be coming into the mix and taking front and center as far as some of the transits are concerned. And so that's a lot of mental energy. That's Gemini energy. We'll be shifting into the solar sign of Gemini soon. But yesterday's skies were really packed, as I mentioned, with some complex energies. Mercury conjuncting Chiron. So there was a potential to already activate these previous runes related to communicating your self-worth. Could also be related to your daily activities and health because we still have South Node in Virgo. And yesterday, the moon was in Virgo. So it was making this kind of deepening pressure and formed a T-square with Jupiter and Saturn. So they were triggering themes of burnout, meeting deadlines, reaching our emotional limits with some things, depending on where this is happening in your chart. And as I mentioned, the moon was further amplified by the conjunctions to the South Node. And if you'll recall, you've heard us mention the South Node in Virgo right now is really the karmic story that we are releasing, whether it's outdated perfectionism or sometimes it's martyrdom type symptoms that come up. But at the same time, the moon was trining Uranus. So really, there was an opportunity. Trines are positive energy. So there was an opportunity for kind of innovative breakthroughs in our thinking, like stopping yourself in the moment of being too critical and things like that. But as we shift into today, the top theme I wrote for today was shifting relationship dynamics and fresh momentum. So Thursday the 8th, the moon has now moved into Libra, hence shifting the emotional tone, as I mentioned, to relationships. And it also, Libra being ruled by Venus, this is going to bring in themes of balance and diplomacy. But early this day, there was the moon opposing Neptune and Venus. So, as you heard me mention, Venus rules Libra. This was suggesting to me that there could have been some real emotional confusion, blurred boundaries that you're trying to work your way through, or just kind of a mismatched of desires where you and partners or clients or work colleagues are just not vibing very well. But the good news, Mars has officially left its shadow of retrograde completely. So you have likely felt today and this week this kind of fresh momentum and passion and creativity to pick up your personal goals and really pursue them. So Venus now separating from her Neptune trining Pluto aspect, there will be fog lifting. Clarity is going to be emerging, I promise. But also in that clarity, y'all, deep truths about relationships are going to surface. I'm just going to lay the silver lining, as I always do, that those deep truths, whatever they may be, they really are paving the way for authentic change. So if that's what you're seeking, that is on offer this week. Moon sextiling Mars was encouraging us, got a little head cold, so I'm sorry, but just to take action, be connected. It was a beautiful day to just have intentional conversations, and that energy is carrying through into this evening, especially ones, as I said, that involve where you need to make some evolutionary changes in relationships. And then as we move on to Friday, I think Friday is a great day to get out and socialize. So moon is still going to be in Libra, as I mentioned. And there is going to be an early inconjunct to the sun. So there's going to be maybe some minor discomfort early in the day, just kind of not being aligned, our thoughts and actions, right? Gemini is still working on that. We're still clearing the fog of Neptune. But it's really going to be between your needs and your responsibilities. So I say just avoid forcing any kinds of decisions on this day on Friday and go out and socialize. As I mentioned, by evening, the moon's going to make a beautiful trine to Jupiter, the benefic. It's going to lift our spirits, give us some optimism, have us feel just, optimistic and generous. It would be a great night for graduation ceremonies or just kind of in that good vibe of celebrating with friends, families, and neighbors that we genuinely like to be around. So as the moon continues to move on, it is going to oppose Chiron again later in the evening. So again, these sensitive themes coming up about past relationship wounds, they're going to keep reemerging this week. Excuse me. But again, don't be surprised if let that process happen, let them come up, because I really feel like they're trying to lead you deeper in this cycle of what needs to be cleared. Scorpios don't play. They see right through to the heart of a matter. They know authenticity. They just, the second it walks into the room. So let the Scorpio energy that we're kind of building towards, let those cycles play out. So I also wrote down, share from your heart, but avoid rehashing the past. Don't tell those old stories anymore. If that's not the life you want, then don't tell it, right? Not to new people, not to old people, whatever it may be. So as we move on into Saturday, again, I wrote deep truths and communication crossroads. So one big theme happening on Saturday, and as we move into, it's actually Sunday, so I'll talk about that maybe in the next slide, but the day is going to begin with Mercury entering Taurus, and this is a great time to ground our thoughts, slow down our communication style. You'll probably crave really calm and practical conversations, especially around we're in Taurus, so it's going to be self-worth, money, love, and values. By the afternoon, the moon is going to dip into Scorpio. It's going to cross over and ignite those emotional waters. It's going to, I always say set fire to the rain. I mean, think about boiling water. This is when it's going to kind of start. So, yeah, I think almost immediately after the moon goes into Scorpio, there's going to be an opposition with Mercury, right? Thoughts and words. And it's going to square Pluto, where Pluto is trying to make this transformation. And later on, it's going to square Mars. So you can these are not fun aspects. They do inspire change, but they do build pressure as well. So it's going to build some, I would say, volatile atmospheres, intensity in conversations. There could be intense power struggles. There could also be shocking revelations about money, finances, and this could be personally and also out in the collective. So any of these themes that I'm talking about, certainly they happen to us personally, but you will see them playing out on the bigger stage as well. I wrote down here, expect secrets to surface, expect there to be emotional intensity. And your job here is to try to control the dynamics of any flare-ups with both Mercury and the moon involved with financial news, cybersecurity issues, personal value clashes. Stay grounded. And then I put here, let's see, the truth is surfacing for your transformation, right? Let these further play out. So then Sunday we have, I don't think I have it in my slide, but I wrote in my notes that Black Moon Lilith, she is really going to come in and bring up some old fears. So not only do we have that drum of whatever you tell yourself, you're not good enough, you'll never be good at whatever that drumbeat of criticism is, that Virgo South Node we're trying to let go of. Black Moon Lilith is going to be there. Like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Listen, the emotional simmering before this storm, stay grounded. But it's going to be an intense journey, I think, on Sunday. The moon is going to square Mars. We're going to be creating, like I have mentioned many times, emotional undercurrents, frustration, a sense of urgency to want to act. The pressure is building towards the Scorpio full moon. Really what you want to do is, as we've mentioned many times, be the observer, don't overreact, let things bubble up and channel your energy into your passion projects, into shadow work, into emotional journaling, long walks outside if you have to. Your intuition, it knows what's best for you right now. And in Scorpio, if you listen to the cycles that are happening between now and Monday, you can really root out the final blocks that are just going to help Pluto do the transformative work. And so that the tower, that's what Pluto does, the tower will be, I don't know, is there ever a gentle tower? But it's for our healing. It's for our ultimate transformation. So with that, I know that was long-winded. Hopefully that gives everybody some things to think about as we head into Monday. I don't know if anybody has any stories about the week or any personal anecdotal information or questions. Right on. Okay, well, I think with that, I think we're going to go ahead and open up to readings. Is that right, Ms. Jen? And we're going to start with Wendy. First, we'll do the collective reading.
Thank you, Marcia. The only thing I could say about what you were talking about is just it seems like a lot of the towers are starting to want to come in. So if people have been trying to avoid actually dealing with all of this stuff, the universe is kind of starting to force our hand. So it's like, put up or shut up, right? So buckle your seatbelts, get ready because it's going to be a bumpy ride. So the collective question, what is blocking you from the deep transformation that is on the precipice of emerging? What we've been talking about, what I've been seeing in our messages all week long, right? So I pulled a card from the Elemental Oracle, and I got a 12 card, which is outer core. And so 12 reducing down to a 3. So again, thinking about like what we're manifesting, what we're trying to put forward, right? This is going right into what you were talking about putting those old ways of thinking behind you, right? It's about fluidity. So be fluid in your thinking. Holding on to old ideas in a rigid way is not beneficial for you. A nimble mind is a healthy mind. It is never too late to admit you were wrong or to change your mind according to new information. So resisting change by holding old, rigid ideas and beliefs benefits no one and stunts your growth. Being open to new ideas and feeling confident to transform old ones, especially if you are given more information, is the way to navigate change. So yes, I feel like we're very much on this precipice of huge change. We've been talking about it. It's been coming. We've been kind of moving in slow motion towards it, and to kind of give us time really to work through all of these issues and to be able to have more control over our emotions, or at least understand and process through all of the things, right? Old wounds, old hurts, having to end relationships, heal relationships, being open and creating space for new relationships. All of these things have been just kind of happening simultaneously. And you talked about like on a global scale as well as individual. It's like there's just so much happening right now, and it's big energy, and it's happening for all of us. And I feel like especially for those of us who are well onto our spiritual path, it's like you can feel it, like almost kind of like this energy, like kind of pushing you and like looming over you, and like you're about to almost like have that Fool card where you're going to have to leap off and take that leap of faith, right, and go into the unknown. At the same time, it's like preparing you. So really important to let go of all that old way of thinking, of letting others dictate how the choices that you make, and just really being in your own power and being willing to learn and grow and expand and explore that, and really just embracing that. I think very important to moving forward. So hopefully that resonates for some of you out there, and we are going to move on to Marcia.
Okay, and I drew for the collective from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And I love this. I love this, following just what Wendy said. I got the 42 card, which is chop wood. So let's talk about this. Your job right now, everybody, is to just tend to yourself, your own house, clean your own house, declutter your own house. But really, you've heard us say chop wood, carry water. Let's talk about the deeper meaning here and what the process of doing that, what it's allowing to happen. So sometimes you need to suspend your thought from your dreams. If you're constantly like, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? You're actually keeping it at bay. It creates tension from you reaching that goal. So you need a moment of groundedness where your dreams can just lie in kind of like the consciousness of the ether, so to speak. And think about it this way. When you plant a garden, you till the soil, you prune the leaves, you water, all of those daily activities, and you just have faith that the produce will come, the flowers will come. This is what is needed right now in your life. I think when you're in the state of just, and what I'm also hearing from Spirit is, Virgo South Node is about changing those daily habits that are going to lead you. You say you want a life that is da 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 da. Are you doing the things right now in your daily habits that are going to produce that person? If you're not, this is an opportunity to really get clear about what those things are, and then clean out whatever habits that are keeping you from it. But advice from spirit here is to just stay focused on your daily routines and habits. When you do that, it creates a mood of receptivity so that spirit then can do its job to move the mountains, put all the people and places right in front of you. So wonderful energy for the collective there. And I will turn it over to Sari.
Okay. I'm not sure. I think it was Wendy that talked about the tower, or maybe Marcia, you did, because I pulled the tower. And this is from the Lunar Nomad Oracle. And you can see the tower here with some really big angel wings behind it. And so, again, it's a 19, which if you add it up, goes to, what is that, a 10? Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm having math challenges today, but it's very similar to the tower in tarot, but it's giving kind of a higher order. So what might be on the precipice for all of us is there something that's coming that is going to be a catalyst for your transformation? And what this card says is, should you find yourself standing kind of in the moment of a tower, or what we call a tower moment, do you stand at the door and do you actually embrace it, or do you actually stand in opposition? And what the advice from spirit is, some of us are getting nudges, and sometimes some of us are getting slapped a little bit with things coming out of nowhere. And when that happens, it's happening for our highest and greatest good. And the advice from spirit is, don't resist it, because whatever is on your path is meant for you. So if something is coming out of the clear blue, or you decide to throw your own cherry bomb in to create your own tower moment, that this is exactly where we're supposed to be. So don't fear the tower, embrace whatever is coming. And even if it's, you've been thrown lemons, make lemonade out of it. But there is something that could be coming from the collective perspective that is a surprise, a sudden moment. And it's something that we may have to look at it from the higher perspective, the angelic perspective of, this is spirits nudging us to be on our path. So it's not happening to us, it's happening for us, so that we can be on the highest timeline that we came here to be as souls. So I think that's consistent with the messaging that the tower is not always to be feared. It can be embraced, and it can be actually used to channel your energies in the right way, and to make sure that you're on the right path that spirit has for you. So with that, I will pass it over to Jen.
Okay, so I think it's interesting that we're talking about the tower, because I was having some thoughts earlier today that, okay, so Wendy said that the towers are happening. I think the tower has already happened. And the realization that I had was, especially for my own situation, I was so close to the tower when it happened, like the shock of it hit me so hard that I wasn't able to see it yet. And so I've been sitting literally in the rubble for months, just trying to hold on to the pieces, thinking that I can prevent the tower and kind of keep putting it back together, when literally I'm in the part now where the dust is settling and I'm seeing, no, it actually already happened. And so now then we're in the acceptance part of it, where we have to actually move forward, because we can't go back to, that old reality. And so I pulled with the Divine Masters, and the message that came through was the Divine Director, trust the process, create space for divine order to unfold. You are being guided to stop trying to micromanage the universe. Sometimes events are beyond human comprehension, and thus trying to figure out the finer details of your life may be holding you back rather than taking you forward. I am so close to this message, y'all. So I'm, like I said, I had that a whole realization today that I was just trying so hard to prevent the tower from happening that it had already happened, and I hadn't even taken that in. The reality of that it already happened. There's no going back. And so now that I just have to trust that what happened was meant to happen for my greatest and highest good, just like everybody else is going through it right now too. And it's clearing space. It's clearing space for what is actually meant to be in my life at this time. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward with Ruby.
Hey, everybody. And it's amazing that Jen was bringing that up about the tower, because when it comes to the tower, and the card that I pulled is right on point with all the other ladies too. When it comes to the tower, we don't always see it coming, but it's already, it shows up and we think, oh, this just came out of nowhere. But it really didn't, because it's been building this entire time. This is when it comes out. This is when it explodes. And this scorpionic energy here with this full moon is going to be bringing a lot of these energies out. Okay, so the card that I got was Beyond Illusion. So this is all about our perceptions. Okay, and when I pulled this card, I got the phrase cognitive dissonance. Okay, so that's a psychological term. But that's about believing two conflicting beliefs at the same time that are not the same belief, right? So I feel like for some of us, when it comes to our perceptions of ourselves and in relationships, this is all going to really change. So I'm going to go ahead and read this. This is about Beyond Illusion, all right? So this is with the Twin Flame Ascension deck. Move beyond your limitations and view your journey through the lens of your heart. That's the way through. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs sends signals into the universe in relation to the frequency of your emotional state. Through changing your perception, you can bypass challenging situations. This accelerates your ascension because everything starts to match your higher frequency. So shifting beyond the illusion of perceived obstacles, it releases unnecessary struggles, making it easier to let go of old stories, past programming, or belief systems that belong to others. When you face fears with a positive perception, it attracts your greater good, which is helping you create a new reality in this higher state of being. This card serves as a reminder that when you are in alignment with your infinite potential, it brings balance to the finite thoughts that have pulled you out of neutrality with your source energy. As your soul expands and your perspective elevates, it creates the opportunity for you to discover more about yourself. So we were talking about, how can we make this a soft tower? How can we make this energy a soft tower? This is about think about it, guys. Perception is everything. How we choose to view these situations, we can choose to view them as my entire world is falling apart here, or we can choose to view them as this is an opportunity for me to really look deeply within myself about what I actually want in this life. What do I want for me? What do I have control over here in this situation? Well, we can control our thoughts, our behaviors, and our patterns that we have in our lives. We can control what we think, how we choose to view things, right? That's where this block comes into play. This is what we have control over. We have control over our perception. All right. So this is really big energy here, as we see, but I think for a lot of us, it's all about, viewing this through glasses, right? I'm seeing like pink sunglasses. If you see everything with pink sunglasses on, you're going to see it as pink. Okay. So that's what I have for you. Turning it over to Wendy.
Oh, thank you, Ruby. And Jen, I got to say thank you for allowing yourself to be vulnerable and sharing that with us. We love you. And we're all doing this together, right? So now we're gonna pull for some individuals, and I'm gonna give advice from Spirit. So I pulled a card for Misty today. I hope she got in early and put her heart in the chat right away before we even got started. So hopefully she's still hanging out with us. If not, then she gets to see it later. But Misty, for you, I pulled from the Sacred Destiny Oracle, and you got Power, which I saw this and I almost laughed out loud, because the first thing it says, I said in my video this morning, which is this is your time. This is the time to claim your power and step into your potential. This doesn't necessarily mean that you will be without fear. You might feel uncertain, but do it anyway. Be courageous. Let the world hear your voice. Take a stand. Okay, the take a stand part was actually in the title of my video this morning. Stand up for yourself and for others. Share your passion. Teach from the heart. Write and use your words. Your words will have great meaning. Hold your body as if you are incredibly valiant, noble, and brave, because after all, you are. And I just felt like this message has come through so strong today, not just for you, Misty, but for the collective as well. It's time to stand in your power and let go of your fear and just really embrace it and take a stand and move forward. This is the time. The time is now. This is what we are being called forward to do, and we need to embrace it and go with it. And you have it within you already to do it. It's believing in yourself and trusting yourself, right? Okay, so hopefully that resonates for you, Misty, and I think it might resonate for some others as well, since it's such a strong message that wants to come through. And on to Marcia.
Okay, and so first tonight I am drawing for Penelope. Penelope, I am using the Wildwood Tarot. This is currently, I love this deck. And the card I drew for you is Six of Stones. So in traditional tarot, Penelope, this would equate to the Six of Pentacles. And in this depiction, you can see here that while there are still three people, one of those persons is not pictured. It is the viewer. So first of all, Penelope, when you look at this card, I want you to figure out who you identify with. If you can't see it very clearly, I'm going to describe the background. There is really barren land. It's almost burned down. The beehives are completely destroyed and tethered, which means the hive is gone. The colonies have collapsed. There are there are tools there, but nobody knew how to use them, and they're broken, and no one tilled the land. And the key word in this, and let's talk about the obvious, the two people there, weathered, tattered, begging for sustenance of some kind, anything. So first of all, who are you? This is what this card always, I think, begs the question in that scenario. Are you one of the people there who is coming through a time where you've been exploited? The key word here is exploitation, and it speaks to exploiting Mother Earth and Gaia, our resources. What I'm hearing for you is you've been involved in some type of relationship, or it could be a work matter where somebody could have exploited your resources, meaning your time, your energy, your talent. And so what's the next step for you, right? Charity and humility always come to mind in a time like this. So whoever you are in that scenario, just know that Spirit is very aware that something has been grossly imbalanced, and what is wronged will be righted, right? That is, Mother Gaia always replenishes her own. So just know that if you've been involved in a situation like that, that time is over. This Scorpio full moon is just going to bring all of that into the surface, so it can just be, I want to say, burned away, because that's what I feel like is happening, a very slow burn up until that full moon. But it's Scorpio, so it could be simply washed away as well. But Penelope, I hope that resonates with you, my dear, and I am going to pass it over to Suri.
Okay, so I get to read for Ed tonight. And Ed, thank you so much for joining us from London, because I know it's the middle of the night there. So you get the Star Award this evening. So I pulled a card for you, Ed, a message from Spirit from the Akashic Records guidebook. And it's no surprise that I pulled this message, just knowing what just happened this week, is soul family. All right. And this card, it's a beautiful card, Ed, because it talks about reunification, and it says you could be feeling lonely or disconnected from family. This may be because of a soul level acknowledgement on your part that you are desiring to connect with those who share the same frequency and vibration that you do. And I think many of us are experiencing this in our collective experiences, that the people who used to resonate with us, and it could be anything from friends to family members, some of those contracts are going away, and we are starting to call in our soul tribe. So Ed, you may have felt some loss. You probably have felt lonely. Many of us have felt this way. But if you are inspired to call in your soul family, it's because you are needing the support and the codes as you are moving to your next level of your spiritual ascension. And there are several kindred souls with whom you've made a contract to enjoy various incarnations together in the spirit of harmony and creating a divine community of love and support. So when this card appears, Ed, it means that you are actually calling in your soul family. We understand you had a chance to see Dawn this week, and I'm sure that that was a lovely time for the two of you. But it means that you are reuniting with some of the souls that you have soul contracts with, who are part of your future moving forward. And whatever loneliness or disconnect that you may have felt around you with the people from your past, it says absolutely you are in the right place, and you are calling in your soul tribe, and embrace them. And when they feel familiar to you, or like you've had the deja vu, you know that they are part of your tribe. So Ed, thanks for being here with us so late. And it's a beautiful message that you're exactly where you need to be. And you're calling in through this beautiful vibration that you have, that you are on the right track with the soul tribe that you're moving forward with, and those soul contracts that you agree to as you continue to expand in your ascension journey. Beautiful message. All right. And I'm going to pass it over to Jen.
Okay, so first, thank you guys for letting me be vulnerable, and I am sorry. I did not know that card was going to hit me that hard. I have pulled for Lindsay, and I pulled with the Divine Masters for you as well. And we have the Lemurians, clairvoyance activated, psychic awareness, sensitivity, trust your intuition. And so, I mean, I feel like you do have psychic gifts that are opening up with this full moon. The veil is very thin right now, so it's probably a lot more active than usual. And so we have your psychic gifts and talents are being activated at this time. Trust what you see, hear, feel, and know, for whatever you are picking up is absolutely correct. Your sensitivity is so heightened that you will be able to evaluate people's character quickly, read between the lines, and see things before they happen. Know that this ability will get stronger and stronger as you use your psychic gifts to know and heal. There's a good chance that in the past your sensitivity was overwhelming because you didn't understand it or how to direct it. But now you are blooming like a beautiful flower, becoming the light that you were born to be. You have prepared yourself for this moment. Lifetimes upon lifetimes of incarnations have led to where you are now. Through embracing your uniqueness, you can help many others embrace theirs. This is not a time to fit in or conform. This is the moment that you let the world know who you are. And I just had so many thoughts that were coming in just as I was reading that. And one is a lot of times, like, because in a lot of my readings with clients, they will always ask me if they have any psychic gifts, if they have any special gifts of their own. And all of us, I tell everybody, we all have the gifts. It's just like you may not have had the language for it. And that's the thing that I learned about myself, because like I had a high school friend tell me last week, it's like, when did you become psychic? And it's like, I had to think about that. It literally was my whole life. I just didn't have the correct language for what was actually happening for me. And so, like, when I start describing the different clairs for, my clients, they instantly start being able to pick up where they've been doing it all along as well. And so, like it was saying, the more that you use it and you acknowledge that this is really what's happening for you, the stronger it's going to get. And then the other thought that I was having with that is another thing that makes it hard for you to trust the messages and the gifts that you have is when you are in environments that gaslight you about what you're actually getting. And so it's like when you get out of those environments, that's when you see things as clear as you've ever seen it. And you know that you could have trusted yourself the whole time, because now you see, the whole thing. And so, like, I know that you have proof probably all throughout your history of moments that you called it just spot on. Even when people were lying to your face, you knew it. And so this is the thing that's being activated in you right now with like this full moon energy. This is the transformation that's coming out. And it's something that you're meant to own really loudly right now. Okay. Moving forward with Ruby.
Hey, so I am pulling for Shirley. Okay, so during this energy for you, Shirley, I think there's some relationship things that you're kind of processing. I don't know if you're experiencing it currently, but I was really getting this feeling for you about needing to rebuild yourself, or that you have like a Phoenix rising energy. And then I saw Queen of Wands in my mind's eye. And then I pulled this card here from the Rose Oracle, and it's the Sacred Union card. So I like how this person, you can see how she's kind of cradling herself. And that's what I think that this is a time that you're doing that right now. So this says, beloved within, relationships are how we grow. They cradle and stretch us through connection and division, love and hurt, compassion and separation. They invite us to return again and again to the most important relationship that we'll ever have, the one with ourself, the sacred union that's been waiting within. Every relationship can be seen as an invitation to deepen connection with the beloved within, even our most challenging relationships, especially the most challenging relationships. The sacred union isn't just between you and another, it's the returning to yourself. And when we return to ourselves, we also return to humanity as a whole. Maybe you're being invited to grow through relationships. Perhaps you feel like you're being tested or stretched, or find yourself longing for something external. But this is an invitation to deepen the connection within, to embrace yourself fully and treat yourself like the most precious person on the planet. The more embraced you feel, the easier it is to embrace others. So this could be talking about, thinking about relationships from your past. But this is also about loving yourself to your fullest potential, getting that sacred union within. I mean, I was really feeling like the divine feminine, divine masculine energy, where really it's all about you coming into union with self, right? And then you're attracting in other people, people that are reciprocal. So I was seeing like Six of Pentacles, really equal give and take relationships only. And this is a time for truth when it comes to you, standing up and speaking your truth. So that's very similar to Jen's message here, but it's really Phoenix rising energy that I'm getting for you, Shirley. So I hope that this helped for you. Thanks so much.
Okay. So I pulled a card for Venus for advice from Spirit from the Alice the Wonderland Oracle. And I got the 7 card, which is investigate, look closely, ask questions, think before acting. Okay, so it says an important decision requires you to inquire, inform yourself, and think it through thoroughly. Find out as much as you can and look at the fine print. Too many people blindly follow others, and in many situations, we can find it easier to go with the flow, to trust in other people, and even to follow orders. But Alice does not do this. Not until she has thought it through for herself. She may be impetuous, adventurous, and curious, but she is also sensible, cautious, and inquiring. Alice remembers the good, common sense advice she has learned through hearing stories of others' mishaps, and right now, you must be like Alice. This card asks you to check something carefully before going ahead. You are being encouraged to take a daring new path of action, and while everything is most likely well, You still need to take responsibility and remember to be your own guardian and caretaker. Look over the details, check the packaging. Be sure to know what is in the fine print and ask questions about the arrangement of the offer which you are about to enter into or accept. If, like Alice, you find there is nothing alarming or hidden about the arrangement, by all means go ahead. However, do not follow orders or blindly do what you are told. Investigate, decide, and if you go ahead, be prepared for unexpected changes when you sign, start, connect, or decide to advance. There is always an element of the unpredictable, and there is no way of preparing for all of the strange and wonderful things that will happen next. So a bit of a cautionary card here. Just, really pay attention to the details, really, weigh your pros and cons there, really think about, how you want to move forward with whatever it is that is coming through for you, Venus. So I hope that resonates for you. And I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Marcia.
Okay, and I am reading for Susie. And Susie, I saw your comment, and then I just realized, did she want a reading from Jen? I'm sorry, I just so resonated with that. Susie, I had a dear friend, I used to call her Susie Q. And she spells it the same way. So Susie Van Steele, here you are again from the Wildwood Tarot. I really want to meet you. You've got some fantastic energy coming in strong as the Archer. So this is a 7 card, and in traditional tarot, this would be the Chariot. So you see there, she's got 2 hunting dogs with her. That speaks to the internal strength that she commands to command the, to lead those type of powerful forces at her beckoning. Notice also that this Archer is poised. She's drawn the bow with precision. Her gaze is strong and she is focused on her goals. The time in the wheel of the year that this card signifies is the spring equinox. So that would have been March 21st. Likely something happened in that time that you felt like you had to draw down on, right? I don't know if you're military or somebody is military, but that's a military term or a policing term when you draw down on a target. But Susie, I say that, and this has been happening the last couple times on our lives that I slip in an extra card for my last reader, and I'm going to do it for you because the card that jumped out is very important. It's the Death card. So what this tells me is something, likely a tower kind of feeling for you too, happened around the spring equinox, and it's been a long, slow process of being picked to your bones. But the raven here in this depiction, so the raven can be a guardian and a guide as well. And the raven is here to just say, that's it. We're picking the final bits off because you have a mission. You have so much strength and balance within you that you may not be aware of. So if you have some fears that come up for whatever it was that made this feeling of complete transformation, this like slow picking apart at you, that time is over and it's time for you to move forward. Chariot is about fast forward movement, balance in line with your divine, with your, divine purpose here on earth, right? With your natal purpose. So it's coming, it's available for you. Let that transformation happen. Susie, I hope that is helpful. And with that, I'm tossing it to Miss Cerie.
Okay. All right. We've got time for one more. So I am pulling for Peggy. Peggy, it's so great to see you again. And I am pulling tonight from the Kuan Yin Oracle deck. And I pulled the most beautiful card. I think you need to hear this message tonight. It's called Hear the Yellow Tiger, Mother. It's a 13, which reduces to a 4, which is around building a strong foundation. And I love the Kuan Yin Oracle deck. So when I feel her energy, I just feel called to read from the deck. It says, sometimes we must be strong and hold true while all around us seems to be shifting and changing. The yellow tiger mother, Kuan Yin, in her guardian role, is roaring her divine sound within you. She asks you to hear her, to remember that you are a powerful being of light. And even while you are in flow with universal forces, your strong roots help you to be at peace with your truth, standing your ground while your light shines true. I actually think this is a great message for all of us. It's such a beautiful message of compassion. But again, the message, Peggy, for you is you are more powerful and strong and courageous than you even realize. Your strength is not stubbornness or resistance. It is holding firm to what you feel in your heart to be true. And in time, you come to realize the wisdom of your own courage. Your strength at this time is needed like a protective shield, providing nurturing to a young plant. And your strength and refusal to be dissuaded from your truth helps your dreams and the higher path continue to manifest. Allow yourself to hear the yellow tiger mother as she gifts you with the power, the strength, and your knowing. Be brave and stay true to who you are, beloved. What a great message. Wow. And so, Peggy, you needed to hear that, but I actually think all of us needed to hear that. We are more powerful and courageous and brave than what we believe. And it's that collective strength that allows us to tie into that beautiful energy of the heart, which allows us to have incredible compassion and grace for ourselves and for those around us. So with that, we are going to close this session. What beautiful energy that has come together. And we thank Ruby. Ruby, you rocked it. We're so grateful that you joined us. And again, we are just so incredibly honored that you spend your time with us building this community together. We hope you have a most lovely and wonderful weekend. We will be back with you on Monday, and it will be noon Eastern Standard Time. So we'll be sending out some information about the full moon ritual. So please join us if you can. Have a lovely weekend. Manage your energies. And remember, whatever is coming your way, it's supposed to be on your path, and it's divinely guided and orchestrated. With that, we will let you go. And again, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, everyone. Thank you again so much for joining us.